So we're gonna start some stretches to stretch all our muscles. And I'm gonna work from head to toe, the things that we can do morning or evening fairly quickly. I think it would take about 10 minutes. So I'll start some stretching and then also some weights we will do so that we can build bone strength. So it's for stretching the muscles and building bone strength. So starting from the head, the beginning, hold your hands at the back and you can lean your head to this side a couple of times, hold it maybe 10 seconds or so, and then stretch this part of the muscle, and then come here, stretch this part of the muscle, and lean here this way, so you stretch this part. You lean backwards, so you stretch this part. Same thing for this side, we're doing the same thing. This muscle here, lean towards this way, so you got this muscles. This way, you stretch this muscle. That's part of the neck. When you're doing the stretches, if I'm leaning this way, I want to hold this hand so that it doesn't go with the head, so that you can stretch this part of the neck. So you hold this hand while you're doing this. Same way when you're leaning this side, you want to hold this hand down so you get a good stretch. That's part for that. You could also turn your head from left to right. Maybe hold like 5 seconds or so, or 10 seconds, 2 or 3 times. That's the stretch for that. Now coming over to this part of the area, you could stretch your hands and then just go about this far and this arms facing sort of this way. And then we're gonna squeeze these shoulder blades at the back. We're gonna bring them together. So we're basically doing a shoulder blade squeezing that works the back muscles and as well as the chest muscle. We can do this about 10 times. 2, 3, squeeze the blade, 4, squeeze the blade, 5. You can do about 10 of them. The same thing, also that one stretches your chest muscles also when you do that. You could also do the same thing with the variation. You can start from here, come up. While you come up, you squeeze your shoulder blade. So if you see my back, I come from down to up, but I'm squeezing my shoulder blade when I come up. So my shoulder blade is squeezing and I bring my arms up. You can do about 10 of that. So that takes care of this part of the chest muscle, some of the shoulder muscles, the deltoids and all that. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the stomach itself. We can look at that one later. So let's work on the leg and also the glutes, the butt part of it. But for that, some of the exercises you can do is squats. So we're going to do squat. You come down and this part of the leg from knee to up to the hips, you have to be parallel to the ground. You come about this far, hold it for a few seconds and you come back. So 1, and I exhale. 2, I'm come out, come down, take the breath in. 3, 4. So we're gonna do 10 of that. Couple of key things to remember when you do that. Remember to hold your belly tight. Make sure when you go down, all muscles are engaged. Your glutes, this is called quads, quad muscles. The back part of the thigh is hamstrings. This is the calf muscle. We're gonna make all of them working when you go down, and you wanna stick your butt backwards when you go down so that you don't hurt your knees. So go like, stick out a little bit back. 1, come up. 2, come up with heels dug into the ground like that. Push it from the heels up 10 times, okay? That engages the quads, hamstrings, your glutes, all of that. So now, what do we do for the calves to stretch that? Okay, I'm going to use maybe a dining table to do that, for example. Or a chair, it doesn't matter. You use a chair, but I usually use a dining table. I'll put my arms over here. Maybe you can shoot from this side, you think, or maybe that light is bothering. Okay, so I use this just to kind of support myself, not really leaning on it. Just a slight leaning, but don't put a lot of weight on the hands. And we're gonna we're gonna be on the toe and raise the heel up. While you do that, your calf muscles are working. So I'm gonna go 1. So I'm standing on my toe. I'm stretching it all the way on the calves. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do all of them in a very gradual fashion. Don't just let it come down by gravity pulling you. You want to let it down with control. So I do about 15 of this 2 times. All of them I do 10 to 15 times twice. And then you lean back a little bit this way. But you're basically standing on your heel, and then you raise your toe. 2. This kind of works the shin, this part of the muscle at the front, and you lift up, come down, you lift up, lift your toe up, but you're standing on your heel. This is another 15. You could do that if you want a little support, just kind of put your hand over there, not really putting a lot of weight on it. So that's another 15. So here you're lifting the toe, here you're lifting your heels. So 2 sets of that. That covers the heels, and you're kind of working your ankles too when you're doing that. And of course your bone is kind of carrying these weights when you're lifting them up and down. So that's building your bone density also. Okay, now I'm going to do some weights to show how we can build some calf muscles and bone density everywhere. You can use as much weight as you can handle, but don't overdo it. Small weight. I'm just doing really small weights. This is about, I think it's 5 pounds. 5 pounds, I only got a total of 10 pounds. You can even do 2 pounds, it doesn't matter. Start slow, then you can build. Okay, with this in our hand, we're gonna go just bicep curls. 1. When you come down, you want to turn this here. You take this one and turn this dumbbell like that and come back on the side of your body. So I'll do about 20 counts of this 2 times. I'll go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You get the idea, about 20. And then do it one more time after a little bit of break. This builds the calf muscle. Now I also want to build my triceps. That's at the back side of the upper arm. For that, I hold the dumbbells like this, but I let my weights be like that. Rather than using biceps, I want it to be pushed. That would be pushed by the triceps. So I would go, keep my legs apart so I get some stability, and then I go 1, 2, come back, come down about this far. Don't overstretch it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Perhaps you could start with only 10, one set, and then 10 another set, rather than doing all 20 together. That's for the triceps. So we did the biceps, we did the triceps. Now, I also want to do the shoulder blade. I want to strengthen my shoulder blade. To do that, I hold my dumbbells like this, and don't let the wrist flex like that. Wrist kind of just stays most of the time when the motion happens. So it's almost like opening a book. I just kind of go as far as I could go, but not let the wrist bend. You just go from here, 1. And this part of your arm stays close to your side of your body. So go 1, 2, 3. When I do this, I'm actually squeezing my shoulder blade at the back. So it's not all biceps doing the work. I'm here, my shoulder blades are pulling this in. I'm squeezing my shoulder blade. I'm squeezing my shoulder blade. So I do the same thing with my left hand. I would do another 10 of this. 1, 2, 3, I'm squeezing my left shoulder blade there. 3, 4, 5. So this is basically building our shoulder blades at the back. If you don't know what the shoulder blade is, this part of the back is where the shoulder blade is. Right side and the left side is. And we're squeezing that shoulder blade together. With the weight, we're giving a little bit more strength training. But it works all those bones around the rib cage and the back and everything. So hopefully it builds a little bit of bone density there too. And you can raise weights more. Similarly, if you want to build more bone density also, as well as the muscle strength a little bit more, you can carry your weights with you a little bit. You can go down also. 1, 2, 3. You could do that as well, not necessary, but that helps building more bone density, more muscles. So that kind of gets, let's see, majority of the morning stretch routine and building all my joints working, so it's making my joints more flexible, building strength there. On top of that, I'll lie down and I'll do some stretches around my hip. So I'm gonna lie down. Oh, a couple of more I wanna show. The other stretch I would do would be I take a band like this, rubber band if you have them. You can buy one of these things in sports shop or Amazon. I put them in, my legs in, and the way I'm going to do this, for example, I usually go a long way so that I can go a long step here. So I'll start out, for example, here. Once again, stick your butt back, stand about so much bent, and then all I'm going to do is take a step this way. So I'm just kind of stretching the elastic band. That builds a little bit of muscle, and also you're getting balance. 2, 3, come together. 4, come together. 5, come together. 6, come together. 7, come together. However far you can go in your room, and then go back this way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I just go back and forth a few times. That builds the glutes and upper leg muscles. That's one I do. And the other ones I do now, I do some of these yoga type of stretches. I do the cat pose, which is basically you're curving your spine. You just let it just slouch, so your spine is curving this way, and then I just raise it up like a cat, and then down you go. 3, go down. 4, down again. 5. So I'll do about 10, 15, 2 sets. That makes all the curvature of the spine get stretched both directions, and it makes that better. Now, I also do a couple of these. If you can, just do 4 or 5, whatever you can. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I usually do 15 on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I would put my right hand forward, and then the left leg kicks back. 1. And then I come together, my knee and my hands. So if I change direction this way, if you could see it, opposite leg and the hands, and then you bring them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do 15 of that. When you do that, you're doing abdominal stomach crunches, pretty much. That's a stomach crunch as well as a good balance. And the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to kick my right leg out, left hand forward, together. 1, 2, 3, see, 4, 5. So the balancing is kind of wobbly. So as time goes on, we get better at this. So that's that part of it. Now I'm going to do some hip flexing on both sides. So put my foot flat here, and then I'm going to push my butt up, and then so this part just becomes straight. Not overdo arch like that, no arches, just straight. I go 1, come down slowly. 2, come down slowly. 3, come down slowly. Don't push it to a point that it becomes a curve. We may hurt our back. So that's about 15. Then I do stretching this part. So I kind of bend my knees, and then I pull them towards this side. Maybe use my hand and stretch this hand this way. So I get a pretty good stretch everywhere. And I go this way. And then I count maybe 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 seconds. And then go back here this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe to this side, to that side, we got this stretch done. And then we're going into this part of the muscle building. You keep this toe not this way, just kind of this way. And then you can support your head with your hand or maybe just with a pillow or something. And then I just lift them. 1, as far as you can. 2, if you can only go this far, that's fine too. 3, but as time goes on, you can probably stretch more. 4, 5, 6. I do about 15 on that one. Then I bend my knees. I go down this way. I would do on this side the same thing I will do on this side, so you can see it better. The same thing. You know, we did this one about 15, and then you bend. Now you open this like a book. 1, 2, 3. But you don't want to completely go upper body this way. You don't want to be upper body this way or completely there. You want to be like vertical, like that. And then you open your legs. Use your muscles to control how you open it. Don't let it just fall down. Everything we need to be in control. And also always hold your stomach in and kind of visualize that your stomach is helping, your glute, your knee, your quads, your hamstrings. They're all helping you to do the work. And you can use this arm to be keeping yourself not totally going forward. So it's about 15 of that. So we did 15 of this, we do 15 of this. Now here's the tricky one. You put this leg here and keep this straight. So now you can lift that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So don't overstretch it. As much as you can go, you go. Never try too much to hurt yourself, then it takes a long time to recover back. Just go as far as you can and maybe slightly more. That's it. That's about 15. So this side, 3 of them. This one, and this one. Each one is 15 times. And you do the same thing on this side 15 times. So that takes care of all of that. And I don't know if I have any more to show. So hopefully this should just probably last about 15 minutes in the morning. So I can add more if you want. Just let me know and then I can add more strength training, maybe specifically weights or something. I don't even overdo it. I used to do a lot of weights. Now I'm just doing very little just to keep all my joints moving, muscles stretched, a little bit of bone density fixing. Every time you get a chance, if you got a wall in your house, if you're standing in a shop somewhere, you could do these pushing up on your toe or coming up on your toe, but you're standing on heel or you're standing on your toe, push your heel up. You can do all that wherever you can. Of course, the bench press, if you want to build your chest, if you want to do it, which I myself don't do a whole lot of it, but you could do this. When you're down there, you can still keep your knees bent. For people who don't do bench press, you can just, this is a little easier version. You stand like that. You just let your Just come down and then go back up. But in control. 2, 3. So what are the things you should not do? Don't reach your hand too far up and your leg further down. It's hard to do the push-up. Also, you don't want to be too far forward. So you just kind of like right over your hands, your chest is there. And then you're on your knees, you can go down and back up. 2, you can do 10, 15 of them. And if you get good at this over time, you could be on your toe rather than your knee. Then you can go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even if you just did 5, that's good. Get started. And then over time, we can get better at that. So that's it. Hopefully this helps to get everything flexible and bone densities are building and muscles are building. Okay,